Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Brenda and Annette and Sharma, Mary T. And that's it for now. But I'm sure we're going to have more people joining us. It usually takes a few minutes. Today, we are going to do the Warm Wishes accordion and frame cards. Wowzer. Wait till you see what we're going to do. They are so pretty. And we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to bring in some of our poinsettias from last week, some of the Heartfelt Creations poinsettia and holly clusters. Wait till you see what happens when we combine those with the G45 Warm Wishes papers. So very pretty. So I guess we might just as well get going here. Let's start by taking a look at what you get in your kit. From G45, you're going to get a brick red stamp pad. You're going to get the Warm Wishes stamp set. You're going to get 6 5.5 by 5.5 pretty heavy duty craft cards. Let's see if I can get some of those. They're actually pretty nice. And then you're going to get the G45 Warm Wishes 8x8 paper pad, which is fabulous. You'll get the instruction sheet for your cards, and you'll get a nice storage bag for everything. So I'm going to give these to you, since I already have some of both of those. We'll put those back in the store. And let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to build here. These are the frame cards. Come on in a little closer, please. There we go. There's the frame card. It's freestanding. It will look great on the mantle or wherever you put it. Freestanding. And look how much it adds to put those little velvet poinsettias in there. And then I just couldn't help myself. I added prills to the poinsettias in the paper as well. Just because. Here's a second one. Warm Wishes. I'm using tomato red velvet paper and my Heartfelt Creations cutting die and mold to make the poinsettias. And then I'm adding a little bit of my holly that's just cut from green cardstock and run through the mold just for accents. Aren't those pretty? They fold right down to go in an envelope. And then they'll pop right back up and stand pretty. Here's the third one I made. These are actually way easier to make than you might think looking at how pretty they are. Then we also have the accordion fold cards. And I made these out of entirely different paper than what they used. And on the inside, I've got a tag. I've got these pretty tags on the folds. And then we've got our Merry and Bright. And I'm not going to show you my last one. I'm going to surprise you with that. And we'll look at that when we're doing these accordion cards, because I did something totally different with one of mine. Because you know me, I just have to do this stuff. I have to play. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is grab one of our 5x5 cards. My envelopes out of the way for now. Keep my cards down. All right. And to make the frame card, the first thing we're going to do is cut this card in half. Now you'll notice I'm using a different paper cutter than my norm. I needed one with a drop-down blade for this project, so I'm switching to my tonic paper cutter. Hi, Cat. So I'm just going to cut that right on the score line. Should be a nice even fit. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is just set aside one piece of that. And what they want us to do is they want us to cut a hole out of the middle of the other one. Okay. Now there's a number of ways you can do this. You can do this by drawing a pencil line. It's a 3/4 inch border all the way around. If you take a 3/4 inch border all the way around, that means you're going to cut a 4-inch piece right out of the middle of the cardstock. So you can cut it, you can do it with a pencil line and cut it with your scissors or a craft knife. You can score it like she did. She used her scoreboard in the video to draw a score line down each side, and then she cut the hole out of the middle. I'm going to cheat because I have a good paper cutter with a drop-down blade that shows me exactly where I'm putting the blade. I'm going to do mine with my paper cutter. I'm going to go to 3/4. I'm going to put it right up to the top and make sure I got it at the top. I'm going to set my paper at 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to pull my blade down. Stop that. My paper slid a little. I'm going to pull my blade down until I get to 3/4 of an inch. 4 3/4. Okay. I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to go back to my first cut line, and I'm going to pull this down to, sorry if I have to get right in here to see what I'm doing. I'm going to go to 4 3/4. I'm going to shift it again. I'm going to go up to my first cut line and drop my blade, and then I'm going to pull it down until I get to 4 3/4. And the last cut's really easy because I'm going to put it on my 3/4 line, and I'm going to draw a line from one cut line to the other cut line. So no scoring, no measuring, no. There's my 2 pieces. Okay. Now I'm going to take the center piece that I just cut out of there. I'm going to put, it's 4 inches square. So I'm going to set my paper at 2 inches, and I'm just going to cut that right in half so that I have 2 pieces that are 2 by 4 inches. I'm going to grab my scoreboard. And I'm going to score these pieces every 1/2 inch. So I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch. I'm going to score it at 1 inch. I have it scored at 1 1/2. And then I have my piece that's 2. And I'm going to fold that so I have a mountain in the center and valleys on each side. See that? So I'm just going to fold it in half and then fold both sides up, actually. Let's do the other one. I'm going to fold it in the middle. I'm going to fold each side down. Really, I am. You've only been out here for online for less than 10 minutes. You cannot be falling asleep over there. Huh?
I forgot my drink. Stay awake. Go get one.
Okay. So there we go. We got our mountain fold and a valley on each side. I think we'll go ahead and make up 2 of these cards. I'll just do another one real quick here. We may not be able to do a lot of cards today because this project has some fussy cutting to it, and that can take some time. So, okay, I'm just going to start by cutting my cardstock in half. Now we're going to do that 3/4 inch business. I'm going to take my blade, I'm going to drop it at 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to go until I get to 4 3/4. I'm going to turn my card. I'm going to go up here, drop my blade at my original cut line, and pull this down until I get to 4 3/4. I'm going to drop my blade at my cut line, and I'm going to come down until I get to 4 3/4. And I'm going to do it one more time. Drop my blade at my cut line, and I'm going to go to my second cut line. And there we go. We have our frame. I'm going to cut this one in half. It's currently 4 inches square. I'm going to make it 2 pieces that are 2 by 4. I can move this paper cutter off to the side now for a while. I'm going to bring my scoreboard back. I'm going to score this at 1/2, 1, 1.5. And I'm going to do the same thing with my other one. The video online from G45 is pretty good on this video. Most of their videos are pretty good, but this one was especially good. But you'll find we're going to change it up. So now we have all our papers or cardstock cut for our first 2 projects. Everybody good on what we're doing to prepare our cards? It's not hard. We're going to cut our 5 by 5 cardstock in half. So we have 2 5.5 inch pieces. We're going to cut a 4 inch square out of the middle of one side. We're going to leave the other side intact. And then we're going to begin decorating. Now, I think we'll do this one first, which was actually one of my later ones. But let's get a couple of pieces of paper out here. we are going to use, I'll tell you the names when I find them. We're going to use Yuletide Floral. And we're going to use these are different on both sides. Sometimes you have to turn them over and look at the other side to get what you're wanting. We're going to use one of these Warm Wishes, and we're going to use a couple of cutouts from the tag sheet. We're going to use Merry and Bright. This one is the Glad Tidings sheet. Excuse me?
Hi to Mary G.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Sharma. I'm not sure I said hi to Irene. Hello, Irene, just in case. And I want the little bird off of this one. So there's 4 pages. I'll repeat them again, which ones we're using. I'm using the Yuletide Floral. We're using Warm Wishes. And then we're using 2 of our cutout sheets to get some of the pieces we want. We're using So Very Merry and Glad Tidings. Okay. So we're going to start with the back. Now, generally, we would want to cover, excuse me, the back of our cardstock with just completely cover it. But I wanted to save these stamps, so I actually cut this a little shorter. I'm going to cut that right along the edge of the stamps. Now, I can get away with that, not covering this clear to 5.5 by 5.5, because I've got those 3/4 inch borders over the top, right? So I don't necessarily need to do that. So I'm going to get my paper cutter, and I'm going to cut, oh, whoops, I'm not going to do it with my scoreboard though. Grab my paper cutter. And I'm going to cut right along I'm going to cut right along the edge of those stamps. So I have this piece. I'm going to set that aside because we're going to use one of those stamps, and we're going to use some of those border pieces. I'm going to come back in, extend the cutting arm here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this side to 5.5. One thing about this paper cutter, you can't see the measures unless you get right up to it. So bear with me while I pull these things into my view. Okay, so this becomes my background piece, and all the rest of these I'm going to use in another way. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this piece here. I'm going to just kind of distribute that shortage on the paper on both sides. I cut a lot of things smaller on accident. This is one of the few times when I'm cutting it shorter on purpose. I've had this extra thick, Elaine's extra thick tacky sitting on my desk since we started the treasure box project that we're not quite finished with yet. We'll do that in August. But I found that when you're adding on additions like the flowers and things, that the quick grab feature of that is actually really, really nice. Okay. All right, let's see. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my frame. So I'm going to move these two out of the way. I'm going to grab my frame and I'm actually going to cut this. I'm going to glue this right to the top. This is just going to be a time saver. I could save the piece out of the middle. I'm not going to. I'm just going to use a time saver here. If you wanted to save the piece out of the middle, you absolutely could do that. But I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it quick and easy. And sometimes quick and easy is really good, especially with a project like this one that can take a little while to get through all the fussy cutting. I might find now that I've done it before, it goes really fast. I don't know. Because the first time you're doing your design work too. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get more than I think we will. You know me, I'll stick with you until our time's up. Okay, so I got plenty of glue on there. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to stick it right down to my frame. Line that up nicely.
Sharma says that glue is always on her crafting table.
I have to admit, I had not used much of it, and I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to cut around the frame just like I was facing a card. I'm going to grab my other scissors here. Okay, I'm going to poke a hole in the middle of this cardstock. And I'm going to cut from the center out to each corner. It's just a really fast way to get our frame covered. And I could just cut these off, or I found when I was doing it last time that I could get a really nice edge by just folding these over to the back and gluing them in place. And it gave me a really nice finished edge on the inside of my card. I'm going to put plenty of glue down there. I'm going to tack this in place good. And then I'm just going to cut off the remainder. And what I like about it is that my edge on the inside is just really nice and pretty. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Put the glue down. I'm going to fold this edge over. I'm going to cut off the extra. This one here is my design, so you won't see this on the G45 examples. Fold that over to give Maybe wipe my scissors off so I don't get them all gluey. And would you please turn the AC on? Much cooler in Portland today, but still the clouds haven't burned off yet, so it's still in the 70s, or that would be my guess anyway, having just come in from out there.
72.
72. That's a nice civil day right there. That's what a summer day should look like in Portland, Oregon. Now this 98 business. Okay. I'll wipe my scissor blades off. Maybe glue off. So that was a really quick way to get that frame all fixed up. Okay. All right. And we have our frame all done and it's beautiful. We have our background done and it's beautiful. It's already looking pretty. But we have oh so much more to do. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this corner. And I'm going to...
We can't see what you're cutting.
I'm going to... This is one of the cut-off pieces.
Brenda says she won't even see 70 in the middle of the night.
You should move to God's country, Brenda. Whoops, what am I doing? Well, that's okay, I guess.
They're asking about Mary R. And I think
Mary R. I talked to Mary R. Actually, I didn't talk to her. I emailed with her. And she said to please tell you that the surgery went very well and that she'll be staying with a friend for a couple of days. But she wanted you to know that she's thinking of you and she is doing fine. So there you go. That's the news. It wouldn't surprise me if she's watching, but she didn't say for sure. I don't know if her friend has, the proper access or not. She did say that typing is very painful. She typed me a message and then said this was very painful. So I would not expect to see her chatting the next few days, but she said she's doing well and she asked me to share that with you. Roberta, I also talked to Roberta and she said, she told me, thank you for letting my friends know that I've been having technical difficulties. And I'm sorry I haven't been able to get on to chat, but she's watching. And so there's the news on our friends.
You have one other news to share?
Let's see. I also wanted you to know that orders are completely up to date. Margie and Brittany worked their tails off, and all of the orders are back up to date. So that's good news, I think. Very good news. The orders are all current again. Okay. So I cut this piece out of that corner. It's just the red one with the red dots with the gold edge. And I fussy cut the poinsettia that was in that top piece. And I'm going to drop that down in the center here where it will look beautiful. And let's look at some of our other pieces here. I'm going to fussy cut this red line. We're going to use that. And we might just as well cut out this flower here. And we're going to cut out our Happy Holidays sticker that's got the cardinal on it. So we're going to cut out that stamp. I'm actually going to cut out the other two and save them. So we'll cut these out, just set them off to the side. Not using them right now, but we'll use them later. I'm going to cut out this corner. Just the red part again. I don't want to cover up all my other pretty background paper I just put down on there. When I get down to the greenery and stuff, I'll go ahead and clip that off.
I'll throw the same hi to your new employee, Mary.
Ha! Mary D. Our new colleague is Mary D. So Mary D is doing great. It's a big change to come in here and do this. You wouldn't think it would be that physically demanding to work in a little store like this one, but you're up and down, bending, squatting, grabbing things. You're on your feet a lot, and it is very physically taxing to do this job. And so she's adjusting. So's Margie. Margie just getting well from having had COVID, and she worked 4 days this week training and packaging and pulling personally. And then Brittany was here yesterday and she jumped in to help. So
Annette asked if we all heard if new stamps were going up to 66 cents.
Well, it's not the 66 cents that worries me. It's the 15% on packages. I just don't know what we're going to do, that they just keep going up and going up and going up. It's ridiculous. I mean, our cost to ship a package has gone up about, I'm going to say on the average, $3 to $4 this year for our priority packages. And then effective on the 8th, they're doing away with first class mail, which used to be one of our few salvations, that we could put things in a big rigid mailer and send small quantities in a rigid mailer by first class mail. But they're doing away with that postage class altogether and wrapping it all into parcel, which means that our first class mail will probably go up, I'm going to say close to $5.
Oh my gosh.
No, not go up by $5, go up to $5. But that used to be $3. So they're killing us. I just wish we all had the sweetheart deal that Amazon has. U.S. Postal Service ships things for Amazon for like $1, $1.50 a package. We did raise our rates, and I think we'll be okay. But I don't know. We'll have to watch and see what happens. It's just killer, though. It's killer. Every time your postage, your individual stamps go up by 2 or 3 cents, mine go up by 50 cents to $1. And think about how many times that postage has gone up in the last couple of years. we have to raise because we're going into the holiday season, a temporary increase that never goes away, by the way. The temporary increases never go away. And anyway, I'll stop complaining about that now. But it is scary. I don't know how many more of those we can absorb. And we want to be good to our customers and we want to offer the right kind of rates. But what do you do? What do you do? Okay, you guys can begin to see what we're getting here. Can you come in and look at this a little bit? We're going to go ahead and glue these pieces down, but I just wanted to reiterate what we're doing. I cut this one off the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, I may cut the flowers off. Actually, I want these in two different places, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the bottom off of this one and make it two separate pieces. I'll show you why. I want this red border to go right in here along the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Thank you, Annette. Yeah, it's just the 3 and 4 increases a year that you just kill her. Okay, I'm going to glue this one in the upper corner there. I'm trying to make sure that those are flush with my inside edge. So in case you missed it, the decision is made. We're leaving our Christmas card list alone. I do have 1 or 2 people who have dropped off in the past that have asked to be reactivated on the Christmas card list. So we might be just a little bit longer than last year. We're still technically closed, but those who have been on before and want to go back on, I'll put back on. I'm going to glue this, one of these fussy cutting pieces, to the top and one to the side. Okay. So that's going to get rid of the little gaps you see here. And I want them right flush to the inside edge. So that's looking pretty. Let me bring this one down here. This one, even this card's going to be different than my last one, guys. But that's what happens when I craft. I think I'm going to go back up here with this one. I did like that up there. I want to look how this looks against my background too. Make sure I'm not covering up any critical pieces in my background. Now that looks good. I don't mind that I'm covering up the cardinal, or the cardinal in this upper corner, because he's pretty much covered up anyway. And the pattern will match really nicely with the flowers there. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to make this flush to the outside edge and let it hang over the inside edge. That'll be really pretty. And then I'm just keep checking things here to see what I want to do. I need to fussy cut another piece there. This was one of the last cards that I did. In fact, it was the last card of this type that I did last night when I was doing these, and I think I had a fussy cut piece from another card I didn't use that I used in that corner. But we'll just make one. That's not a problem. We'll just make one. Boy, that looks pretty though, doesn't it? Oh, here's what we have so far. Okay. Okay, let's see. What do I have left in my little pieces from here? Not much. I used everything out of that sheet. Yeah, I don't have anything worth saving there. Okay, so let me dig in here and find another flower border I can bring in here. Okay, let's see. I can take one of these warm wishes. I'm going to come up along this flower. Let me show you where I'm coming in. I'm taking one of my warm wishes and I'm going to cut around this bird. And go up to the cardinal here on this edge. And I'm going to cut out these pretty littler flowers. Just kind of rough cutting around them. You don't have to be totally precise in this fussy cutting operation. But what I do want to do is not mess with that poinsettia in the center, because that will make a beautiful embellishment for something else. It's a big, pretty one. I'm coming down to where I meet my little bird. I might take a little more out of that because that's a big border. Yeah, I'm going to take some more out of this corner. And I'm going to go over to where I see the poinsettias. Come under this bird. There we go. I think I would like that better. Yeah. Now, oh, I see what I did. Okay, well, that's all right. I can change that. Okay. I'm actually going to save this bird. I'm designing as I go here, guys. Sorry. Let's save this bird for another card because I have the same bird behind it on the panel. And I think I will save this cardinal also, because he's up there just kind of blocking other things. There we go. Oh, I like that now. That looks great. Okay. I'll take this off a little straighter. There we go. I'll put a little flower there. Okay. I'm going to put this so that my red border is even.
Say hi to Karen.
Hi, Karen. There we go. That's looking good. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Whew. That looks great. I'm going to use one of my little flowers to cover my tiny gap there. Which will be beautiful. I'm going to take a little piece of my holly and run out from underneath that. So it will be pretty. If you want to drop off the Christmas card list, or if you have a change of address, please get those to me for the Christmas card list. I just need to know. In fact, it'd be great if everybody who's on the list would just verify no change or verify any changes that have happened. It would just be faster and easier for me if you guys would go ahead and just, that way I can just check them for everybody and know that we've got everything right, you know. Now this looks a little bit funny because this is over a little bit in our background, so I'm going to take a little bit of this out so that it's not identical to what's behind it. I don't mind so much that we have a few flower petals there, but I do mind that it looked identical to my background. That looks much better. Okay. All right. Now, let's get a couple other little things going here. I want to put that Happy Holidays in here on some phone tape. there. Let's see how that's going to look. That looks good. I'll put that right there. So my foam squares out here. Put that right there. Yeah, that's looking good. I keep coming back in and fussy cutting a little bit more on this side. I actually have an idea here. I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to put a flower there. Smaller one, I think. Yep. So it'll look different. That looks good. Okay. I want my merry and bright. And I want my little bird. I'll come up here and get this little bird out of the cutout sheet. A little black bird. And put him in the upper corner. On the opposite side of my sample. I'll put him here. Right there. Because that'll look good. Oh, they haven't even acknowledged. Oh, that's awful. I'll bet they still do, though. I'll bet you hear from them. Sometimes it takes people longer than it should. Okay, last time I used a big tag kind of set to the side. I think this time I might use a smaller tag. Maybe I won't even put a tag there because we got a lot. We've got a lot happening here. I think maybe I'll put a couple of my little flowers on it and call it good. I don't think I'm going to put the sideways tag on it. But let's get our... We're going to get 2 of our accordion folded tags out. We're going to put the mountain, the center mountain, to the inside of our card. Our cards are 5.5 inches, and our accordion folds are 4 inches. So we're going to put this about 3/4 of an inch up on both sides. Right about there. Making sure it's flush to the outside edge. I'm going to do the other one. Roughly halfway. Flush to the outside edge so it's not showing on the outside. I'll glue this. Place my first half. That's pretty. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to make sure everything lines up nicely before that glue can set. I want this to fold down flat to go in an envelope. So we'll wiggle it around a little if we need to get it to be all lined up.
Irene says this is a lot of fussy cutting.
Who said that? Oh,
Irene.
Yeah, there is a lot of fussy cutting in this one. Okay. But the papers are just spectacular. They really are. So it makes it kind of worth it, you know. Okay, I think I finally got that where I want it. And let's see if there's any other flowers we want here. You want to add any others? Kind of looks good if you add an odd number. So I might put, kind of like it on this side. I might put the bigger one there. Put a little holly. And Karen, you might be alone in the apartment, but you're never alone because you got a lot of friends out here who care for you. So I want you to always remember that, okay? And we pretty much are done, Irene. I just wanted to get another poinsettia on there, so I had 3 because it's better if we have. Can you back up just a tad? There we go. I think we're going to call that one done, guys. No, it doesn't. It really looks quite a lot different than the first one. I guess it's not a terrible lot different. But, and they do, you know, if when they squish in the envelope, you might have to bend those out just a little bit, but then they stand up really nicely. The thing keeping this one from standing up was my little flower at the bottom. Had to move it out a bit. So you can see they stand up really pretty. Okay, let's do one of the others, and then we might come back and do another one of these because I enjoy these. I said I would show you what I did differently on the accordion card when we got there. So this was the one I showed you before. We're all going to pretend we don't notice that I made a horizontal card and I put my tags in vertically. Whoops. So we're just going to pretend we don't notice that. But this is really the pattern from G45, is to have all these fun little things sticking up inside. Well, that's cool. But I look at this and I think, man, I could use up all of my tags making that card with all those little spikes coming out of it. And it's cute. Don't get me wrong, it's cute. But what would happen if I used that same concept, the same accordion concept, and I made a little album for my mom? So this is what I did with it. With her 4 grandkids. This is my nephew Joshua, Mrs. Brittany, who works here and bosses me around all the time. She's a quiet, mousy little one, but when she speaks, we listen, don't we, honey? There's Jordan, the one who's married to the sailor, and this is Lauren, the one who's going for a CPA. So I'm going to give this to my mom. But didn't that turn out pretty? And it's using the same basic concept. So let's get to the concept, and then we can decide what we want to do. So I just tied this one with a ribbon. That should go on easily because it fits loose, but I'm a klutz today. Woke up with a headache and I've been kind of shaky all day, so bear with me, guys. Okay, there we go. So to do this one, we're going to take one of our... My mom is doing quite well, guys. She had another incident recently where she ended up in the hospital with congestive heart failure again, which sounds horrible, horrible, and it's not a good situation, but they were able to drain the fluid off from around her heart, and she was back out of the hospital within just a couple of days. So that was good. Okay, so let me think. I have to think really quickly here how many I'm putting in. Let me look at this one again. Got to remember how many folds I'm putting in. Okay. When in doubt, look at the instruction sheet because I don't want to mess it up in front of you again. I've done that too much lately. Okay, the accordion card. All right, unfold the card. We're going to score it 4.5, 5, 6, and 6.5 because we already have a scored 5.5. 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. There we go. Don't know why that was so tough, but okay. So you just open your card and make 4 score lines in addition to the score line that's already there. And anyway, she was out of the hospital within just a couple of days, and she is doing absolutely great. When you talk to her, she says, oh my gosh, she says, I just feel so much better. So she's just doing great. And my mom is just tough. She is a tough old bird. She laughs and laughs when I tell her that. So we're going to have these accordion folds in the middle. So when I made the album, I put my paper in the center on both sides. So I'm squishing my paper in there. And then I have a really nice, firm foundation. And once I did that, I actually came out here and glued this a little, put a line of glue down each side of the outside. So I have, so I had a nice solid album. But isn't that kind of a neat idea? It's just great. So, which one do you want to do? You want to do an album or you want to do a put the tags in? You guys tell me. I have one of each already, so I don't care which one we do. They're both made the same way. You start with this base for both. Anybody gonna vote? Love an album, an album, an album. Good. Okay. Cool. Let's do that. I like that one better anyway, but I wasn't trying to sway your vote. Okay. Let's get some papers here then. You want a paper for the cover?
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam. So now our album, I'm actually going to go ahead and glue these 2 pieces right now on the outside. I'm going to glue this right now. You know, I think people love these little tiny albums that you can just stick in your purse. You know, my mom loves to show off her grandkids, and that was my thinking. I can put it in an envelope just to help keep it nice in her purse because it actually will fit in an envelope. But she will enjoy having that to just pull out and show people and to just look at when she's sitting waiting, at the doctor's appointment or somewhere. She'll enjoy having that. So I glued those two, and now I've still got my space to work with on the inside, but it won't be popping out. One of the things I noticed with the tag one that they did where this was not glued is that sometimes as I was working with it, this area in the back would just kind of pop outside of the card. Okay, so we've got that going. Now let's pick out some papers. We're going to want one to cover the entire cover, which is now 4.5 by 5.5. So it'd be pretty to have, it might be pretty to have one of these warm wishes on the cover. Wouldn't that be pretty? Of course, if we put anything else on, we're going to cover it up. But I do love this paper. Why don't we just use this? Yeah, we're going to use this one. And I'm going to cut this to 4.5 by 5.5. Take my little strip off the top. I got to bring this paper cutter in closer to see what I'm doing. Of course, this is a really pretty one you could do as a background, and then you could do this on top. Maybe we should do that. Let's try covering it in this green, and then we can get at least one layer in there. How's that sound? I change my mind all the time, guys. Okay, so that's 5. That's 4. So where's 4.5? Must be right there. This cutter's making me nervous that the 4 is not real conspicuous. That must be 4.5 right there, though. I'm going to try it. We'll hope I'm right. 4.5 by 5.5. That's too long. That's because it's 6.5. 4.5 by 5.5. Okay, let's see if I got that measured right. Beautiful. That's a perfect fit. Why did we question ourselves? Send me any email, Sharma. I have Karen's address. I don't want to post it online, but send me an email and I will send you Sharma's or Karen's address. I have it. Isn't this just the prettiest paper pad? I just love it. Whoops, almost put that on there backwards. That looks pretty. Now let's cut a piece of that to lay over the top. Which could be quite beautiful. I think I'll take this little bit off here, a little bit off here. Okay, so that's 4.5, 5.5. I'm going to cut this right below warm wish, or above warm wishes. And I'm going to cut it right below the red flower. Yeah, right at that 4.5 again. Now that looks pretty. Love that. We did well there, guys. Okay. I'm using snail mail for this. Should I switch to bottle glue? Send me an email, Brenda, and I will just copy it and drop it right back in the email to you guys. I have it right in my email book. Right now, look, I have it. So send me an email if you need Karen's new address, and I will be happy to answer it. We just want to not post anything on the internet because that's unsafe. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, now let's take one of our little tags we saved earlier, one of our stamps, because that'd be really pretty on here. There they are. That'd be really pretty on here. Joy to the world or Merry Christmas. Let's use Merry Christmas. Okay. Let's put this up on some foam. Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite paper packs. They've come out with this and let us know. Obviously, I like Christmas papers. There's our cover design. It's quite pretty, I think. Okay, let's decide what's going to go inside. We'll need 2 4.25 by 5.5 if we let our border show. So let's see what we can do that from. Oh, we have that. This is kind of almost a bit masculine, this paper, but the gold goes so well with the gold in the other papers that I do kind of like that. And honestly, I don't get the gold plaid used up as well. So let's get another one of those. Because it's 4.25 by 5.25, we can only get one out of a sheet. Actually, just saw that my paper is just a little long on the inside. You can see it. I'll get rid of that. Okay, I'm going to cut 2. Wow. Well, you take care in your travels, Catherine. We appreciate you, friend. Okay, there's 4.25. is 5.5. If I cut it, oh, perfect. Let me get another one. And I want to do 4.25. Travel safely. 1.25 by 5.5. Sorry, I keep lifting this up. I know it's hard for you to see what I'm doing, but it's the only way I can see what I'm doing. Okay. I've got the inside and the outside covers. Huh. Oh. What did I do? Did I do 5.5 instead of 5.25? I bet I did. I'm going to cut those off a little bit more. I sure did. I cut them too long. Now they fit like they should. Okay. So I'm going to put that there, that there. We have this beautiful piece that's got the gold and the red poinsettias on it. I love that. We're going to cut this to 4.25 by 5.25. So we'll match our other pieces. And it can go right in the middle. And then we're going to pick up that pretty gold on one side. And we're going to have these beautiful red poinsettias facing the other side. So that's going to look good. Whew. Let's put some glue on here. Oh. I'm going to leave about a 1/8 border all the way around. I'll put this one down. You hear the door to the house. Is Dad doing okay? Look out. Huh?
There's no door. Unless he was out and went in.
Okay.
He's not out there.
Okay. You guys should see what I'm seeing here across the table from me. Teddy is just like a rag doll in his daddy's arms. He's just really living up to Bryce. Okay, I'm going to put some glue on both sides of this. Down in that channel. Back up on the top on the other side. I'm going to position my paper so that it kind of matches what I did with the others. And here we go. We've got our album ready for pictures. I would naturally want to use some nice tags and stickers in here too. So maybe, let's see, maybe I'll put this one in so we can put a little identifier in it, the year or the location or whatever we want to say about the photos. So we'll put that one here so I can still put a photo above it. And let's see, I need something light colored for this dark page. We have, oh, I wanted to show you something too. I actually really like this Merry and Bright in the green with the tan. I think that'll look really cool there. Let's put that up here. It's so easy, isn't it, Irene? Such a quick and easy little job, and you only need 4 photos. So you don't need to spend, 6 weeks devising an album. If you want to just give somebody a little remembrance of your friendship, take some pictures that you have of one of your friends, and then just, take 4 photos. And you can always put little sweet comments or snarky comments on the photo pages. And it'll be so pretty. And then on our final page, we might want to leave put a little signature blank with love from Debbie. So I'll put a little signature panel on the last page. Okay. Now this can slip right into an envelope, so it'll stay nice in someone's purse. Whoops. Did I not glue that one? I didn't glue that one. And then I still have room for nice photos there. I'm putting the tags on in advance. Usually I like to put the tags on as I put the photos in, but it'll fit in a nice envelope. Let's grab one here and see, so that it won't get torn up in a purse. And just slip right in. See there? Now I want to show you another thing. Under the directions, if you use the directions for the cards, we're going to go through and look at our cards we've made again. If you wanted to make one more, I think we have time. We could make one more of the frame cards if you wanted to, but I'll leave that up to you. But I want to show you something. One of the things, you're probably wondering, why did they include the stamp set? Well, they included the stamp set for decorations on the cards. Yes, it is craft paper for the background. It's just craft cards. They're actually a really nice weight craft card, though. I'd say they're probably 80 pounds. This is what they said to do with the brick red stamp pad, is put these in that corner. Now I want to show you what happens if you make that in velvet flowers with the prill centers. Now I do like some of the stamped images on here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the stamps are bad. The stamps aren't bad at all. But when you compare this to this, there's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. So if you got our special with the poinsettia and holly clusters, this is what you can do with it. I'm going to use these for all kinds of things because they're, as I've said a couple of times, they're absolutely perfect for making cards. They're just perfect. And they're even perfect over this poinsettia paper or mixed in with these poinsettias. So consider that. Do you want this? If we have the tomato red, I'm using a tomato red. Tomato or blaze, either one of the velvet would look great. And if you don't find some in the store, email me. I have some 12 by 12 sheets here in the classroom that I can pull out. But isn't that amazing what happens when you add these little velvet flowers? Oh my gosh. So you guys feel like you have a good command of how to make the two different cards? We've got the accordion sides in the frame card, and then we have the accordion card, which we turned into an envelope or to an album. And I want to assure you, these will go right into the envelopes also. Here's our envelope. Use the stamps on your envelopes. Yes, you could use a lot of the embellishments to really create some beautiful envelopes. So these will flatten down to go right into your envelope. And they'll come right out, perk right up again. If you need to, you can push them out a little bit. But aren't they pretty? So do you guys feel like you have a good handle on the frame card and the accordion card? What, if anything, do you have questions on? Questions on anything? Are you awake out there? Good deal. I really like these cards. I just think they turned out so very pretty. So pretty. And you know, they don't have to be exactly like the Heartfelt Creations ones. I think they turned out really pretty. You know, you're just gonna fussy cut and border that frame with some of your fussy cuts and some of your velvet flowers. Just added for a touch. Well, I'm gonna hold each of these up. Bryce got away. I'm gonna hold each of these up. If you need a closer view, we'll do it again when he gets back. But I'm gonna hold each of these up so that you have a chance to look at what's being used. Yours are going to end up being different than mine, just like my first one's different than my second one. But you know what? What you're looking for is to be able to create dimension on the back page. You do that with your flowers or cutouts and your stamps, the postage stamps, put up on some foam squares. And then you're going to create overlap. You'll cover your frame and create overlap with your pieces to create dimension from the front. Thank you, Irene. Aren't the gifts that are the most fun to get the really personal things? Imagine the delight of your friends when you give them a card that's just featuring, the friendship of the two of you and the things you do together. 4 photos, that's all it takes. And you can put together something really special for them. And these wouldn't have to be, these papers are Christmassy, but the card design could be used. The size of the album card is 4.5 by 5.5 inches when it's finished. This one, we just use the front and back of this paper. This one I tied with a ribbon. Didn't have to, but you can. My mom's going to love that. She loves poinsettias. And then she loves her grandkids. So she's going to enjoy this. And then here is the little band on this one to close it. I recommend that with these that have the tags inside them. This is the accordion that they did. They put smaller tags in the front, bigger tags in the middle. You could go any way you wanted to go with that. So we've just walked through and taken another look at those. I think we're about done then, unless you guys have any questions. Any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom? I did want to bring back and show you what we did on Thursday in case you missed it, because we don't have that many people who come to Thursday's class. And I wanted to show you what we did with that Chloe's card kit. I am loving these cards we made with Chloe's. With the stamps. This background's done with a stencil. These are stamps that are die cut. These die cuts are included in the kit. It's you get the stamps, you get the stencil, you get the die cut, you get an embossing folder, all of them. Here's another one where we've used our glitter cards and our little poinsettias. You're going to see these poinsettias all month, guys. It's just going to happen because I love them. Here's the one we did that's a package. Here's the one we did that we cut the ornament in red embossing and red Mary, and then ran it through the tree embossing folder. Here's the deer. This is just distress oxide on the card. Another one of our little poinsettias. Here's that embossing folder. We put our red velvet flowers right onto the tree, which is kind of funny because I actually do that. I have poinsettias on my Christmas tree. Those big, pretty ones you get in the craft store. I have those and lots of sprigs in my tree. This is a Z-fold card, so it will stand like this. And this is the Chloe's magazine kit. $19.99. You get the embossing folder, the stamps, the dies. You get the stamps, dies, embossing folder, papers. Oh, and the stencil, plus the instructions. $19.99. Beautiful. So those are our Chloe cards we did on Thursday. I wanted to remind you, here's our poinsettias that are taken together with our candlelit Christmas paper pack. We still have sets of poinsettias left. They're still on sale for half price. When they're gone forever. Can't get any more of them anymore at all now because they're sold out at Heartfelt Creations. But they're half price now, $39.98, and you get the mold, the stamps, and the dies for the many poinsettias. And the last thing I wanted to review with you is, we talked about these a week or so ago, but I still have a few of these kits available. This is my border and corner class. It comes in a kit to make 12 cards, but there are actually papers and push-outs for 24 cards in the kit. $24.95, and you can make 12 cards, and you will just need to add some card blanks. You might decide you want to add a few more stickers. We're going to make up a supplemental kit to go with this tomorrow, or if you want to get the 12 cards to expand this out to a 24 card kit and extra stickers, we'll have those available for you. So these cards are beautiful. And you'll learn a lot about using borders and corners. If you haven't used them that much, you'll see a lot of different designs in this kit for borders and corners. Because I've done lots of different things with the borders and corners in here. I don't think I'll go through all 24 of them. I have a lot. I have a lot of them sitting here, but I just wanted to remind you that they're out there. I'm going to film a video of walking through each one of these cards and how I've applied the stickers, and that's going to play when I'm gone for the weekend. On the 22nd, we'll have that video playing. So I will have that video taped for you so you can make your own cards. But I just wanted to remind you that we still have a few of these available. I didn't have a lot to begin with. And if you buy one set, you can have a second set of these push-outs and papers. It has push-outs, paper, sentiments, foam squares, stickers. You can get the second kit, which I think is kit 6, but you can get the second one for half price. So I think that's it. I've talked and talked and talked until I'm blue in the face. It's time to sign off and go and get some lunch. So if there are no questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, I do ask that you hit that like button if you think this was a good class today and you want to see more of it. If you're not already a subscriber, you don't want to miss anything we're up to. We have so many good things happening. Oh my gosh, too many fun things. And if you haven't already done so, please refer your friends and family and crafty associates to simplyspecialcrafts.com as well as to our YouTube website. We would love to have the opportunity to meet more crafty friends. We promise we'll take care of them. If there are no comments, I'm going to go ahead and say good night, Gracie.